Ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, we are back with another banger. We've got Matchmaking EVERY Misfits 14 fighter. Okay, let's get started with the first fight of the night. So obviously we had Tempo Arts versus Ben Knights. For the loser, Ben Knights, I think he should fight Miles Rexy, to be honest. Little fun fact, I actually trained with one of the coaches for Ben Knights, and I've suggested this fight because I feel like both guys are obviously coming off of TKO losses, and yeah, I feel like this would be a good fun matchup for both guys to get back in the main column, and fairly low level fight. Yeah. Okay, right, next I've gone for Tempo Arts versus Chase Demore 2. I feel like this is the only fight that makes sense. I personally scored the first fight to Chase. I do feel like he got robbed, and following his fight against Minicon, I feel like he's the clear #1 contender in the heavyweight division. I know that Tempo called out True Geordie, but I don't think he'll fight. But yeah, so that's the fight I'd like to see next for the title. And then next fight of the night we had Pulia Riff versus Argentinian King. Puli did lose, but I feel like he won, so I think we should give him a nice easier fight to warm him up a bit and get him back in the win column. I've gone for Pulia Riff versus iPup because iPup's not very good, and I think they had a bit of beef on Twitter at one point. But yeah, I feel like this is a good like prelim headliner or something like that. But yeah, okay, right, next I've gone for the Argentinian King versus Joey Knight. Now obviously this would be part of the lightweight tournament, and I feel like this is the next fight to make. They've both got beef, and to be honest with you, I don't think Argentinian King will make it to the final, so I feel like do it now instead of trying to build it up, because I don't see him getting to the final. But yeah, I feel like Joey's definitely going to win this one, and Argentinian King really disappointed me. I thought it was going to be really good. It ended up being really disappointing on the actual night. But yeah, okay, next we had, it was kind of sad watching it, but you know, he obviously wasn't very good. Ryan Taylor versus Mist. It was quite sad to see him losing that way, but for Ryan, he's already retired, so I think that was a smart decision. He's never won a fight. He didn't have a great career. The only fight he was winning was the DK one, and then he headbutted him, and the draw to Anthony Taylor should have been lost. But yeah, for his opponent, Mist, you know what? This is a bit of a rogue one, but I think we should do Mist versus HS Tiki Toki. Now, the reason I say this, right, Mist is a big name. I think his most popular song's got like 89 million views on YouTube or something, so he's definitely a big name. And HS is also a pretty big name, and I mean neither one of them are particularly experienced. So it's not like if you match HS against, like, I don't know, who's he been calling out? I actually don't know who HS is going to fight, but I think they had him fighting some guy called The Game. I've never even heard of him, and it was going to be a pay-per-view main event, but that's boring. I don't think he should main event a pay-per-view. I think Mist versus HS as a fight on a pay-per-view, maybe the Joe Weller card in the copper box. I think this would be a good UK versus UK matchup. But yeah, okay, next fight of the night, we got King Kenny versus Adam Brooks. Now for Adam, I feel like him versus Callum Izzard is a banger of a fight. Is a banger of a fight. Sorry, excuse the lack of English today. But I feel like this is a guaranteed fight of the night, and I would be surprised if either man made it to, like, I mean, Adam has only ever been finished or finished his opponent, and I think the same as, no, Callum Izzard hasn't finished all of his opponents, but the fact that on Misfits 9, him and OJ went to war, and I think that was probably one of the best fights of the night. So I feel like this is a great fight to make, UK versus UK, so they obviously have a bit in common. Definitely put this on a UK, I think non-pay-per-views could maybe headline a prelim, but yeah, I feel like this would be a great fight to make. Now for Kenny, I'm obviously going to save him for a future fight that I'll get to later in this video. I think that's quite an obvious matchup for Kenny next, and you're probably guessing what it's going to be, but in terms of for his performance, I felt like it was pretty good, but I do think it was slightly early for a stoppage. I wish the ref had kept it going a bit longer, and I don't feel like Adam was given enough chance to properly fight enough, but equally, like Adam said, if it didn't happen then it probably would have happened later. But yeah, okay, next we have the co-main event. Now this was actually a pretty good fight. We had Julie Pocker versus Barbie. Now for Barbie, I've gone for the loser of Vampira versus Loza. So assuming, well, I think for me personally I would want Loza to win, because I feel like it's a new name in the scene and someone who could fight for a title. and so I think she should beat Vampira hopefully. And then you do Barbie versus Vampira, which obviously is going to have a pretty fun build up and could be a pretty fun fight. Both girls even are weird and gothic and whatever, so obviously it'd definitely be an interesting matchup. I also think that this fight could push the winner into a rematch for the title. In terms of for the actual champion, I've gone for the winner of Vampira versus Loza. I think this makes a lot of sense, and I think this should act as sort of a number one contendership fight. Obviously, if Vampira wins and then they've got a different opponent, I think there's another one on Misfits 15 is fighting called like Alicia Magan or something. If she wins and she knocks out Fangs or something and looks really impressive, then she can fight Julie. But I think if Loza wins this, then she should fight for the title next. I've seen a lot of people saying Julie should fight an MMA fighter next. I personally think she's not quite ready for that yet. I mean, I do think she's ready for it, but I don't think her star is big enough yet. So I think we should maybe let her have one more title defense and then maybe have a fight like a Chris Cyborg in Brazil. I think that would work really well. And obviously you've got a Brazilian fighter versus a Brazilian fighter. I don't know who the crowd would root for, but I feel like that could headline a non-pay-per-view and would obviously build Julie Parker's star. Okay, main event we had Amadeus Ferrari versus Salt Papi. Now for Amadeus, I think he should fight Dylan Dandis next. Maybe not next, but I think he should definitely fight him in the future, because imagine how insane this build-up would be. You know, two huge trash talkers, villain versus villain. I think put this on a pay-per-view. Maybe put it on KSI's return pay-per-view, because you got to boost the sales, and I think this would be an amazing fight to make. Okay, in terms of Salt Papi, I feel like he has a clear opponent next. It's got to be King Kenny. I feel like King Kenny won't stick around in the scene for much longer, because I feel like this year he's slowing down in the amount of fights he's having. So I feel like this fight is a good. I feel like we should do it now while both guys are coming off of wins. Salt Papi is definitely. I think Salt Papi is the favourite in this, but I am actually stuck between who I would want to win. I feel like this would be a number one contendership as well for the middleweight title, and then if Salt wins, he rematches Slim. If Kenny wins, he fights Slim. And yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing either man win, because both guys had great performances on Misfits 14. I think Salt Papi probably had the better performance, but equally, you can only fight to the level of your opposition. So yeah, Kenny definitely did really well. And you know what? I watched the event in person, and I just want to say Misfits did a really good job of putting on the event. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Not really much to say. Leave any comments of any videos you would like me to do. Peace, love and guidance. I'm out.